Yeah.
Doing well.
Okay, I start recording this.
Good deal.
Does it work?
No. No answer. So what was I gonna do? I asked if you're still there. And they didn't have any more in.
So what do you want to officially kick off with, Jovi, for today's call?
For today's call, I know I wanted to talk a little bit about the CBD oil
Okay.
and exactly, because I know I've been noticing a big difference in my body. I know I need to get my blood work with Dr. Grisha, just so I can start comparing my numbers.
Yeah.
But just in the personal side of it, like what's the benefits that people are going to get from it? One, two, like what are the components? Because for me, my pain level has drastically changed in different aspects. Like I was taking the nitro extreme, and now I don't need to take that one as often. So I'll take it in the morning. And the CBD oil, I only do like 1/3 or 1/2, all depending on my pain levels for that day. But I don't feel pain in my body, and also the menstrual part of it as well.
Yeah. Okay. So just as a disclaimer, Jovi and I didn't talk about what we're going to talk about today, but you just queued me up perfectly.
Okay.
So kind of interesting, 2 articles came out this week. One was they've delineated 50 potential issues with COVID. So you may have heard about something called long COVID, which means that the body really hasn't gotten over COVID 100%. So there's 50 different things that could potentially go wrong or not resolve or go away, if you will. And one of them is musculoskeletal pain. So that came out of that study. And then there was a conference in Las Vegas by the Society of Pain Management. And what they're finding is that people that have chronic pain, they may be exacerbated by COVID. And so there's 2 separate studies or 2 separate bodies of knowledge that are kind of reinforcing the same thing, is that COVID could have potential lingering effects. And one of the lingering effects could be musculoskeletal. And then on top of that, unfortunately, what's kind of bubbling up is that they're seeing more and more injuries, side effects, illnesses related to the vaccine. So now we have kind of 2 parallel tracks. We have people being affected by COVID, and then we have people that are being affected by the vaccine. And I guess technically there's a 3rd track, that's a crossover track. And those are people that had COVID and got the vaccine, or vice versa. So all that to say, there's a lot of hurting people out there, a lot of hurting people. So what CBD does, and specifically CBDA does, is A is the acidic or the parent component. So if you were to just chew on a raw hemp plant, you would be getting CBDA, but it would be not enough. You'd have to be kind of like grazing like a cow in order to get enough. So what the process does is to kind of distill it and concentrate it. The big problem is stabilizing it, because in most of the processes, when you take the raw form and then try to concentrate it, you take off part of the chemical, and it's called decarboxylation. You take off part of a chemical group, and that's what is CBD. So what we try to do is preserve the CBDA, and when you preserve the CBDA, you have a much more potent product. And that's what Dr. Raphael McCullum out of Tel Aviv University from, I think it was like the 1990s, discovered, is that CBDA is 1,000 times more potent than CBD.
Okay.
So why is the A component more important? Because that's the one in the system that acts like the classic researched non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, which are called the COX-2 inhibitors. So we've already got a model out there that shows that these drugs work in the body. So now we have a compound that's natural that mimics it. And that's what CBDA does. It mimics that. Why is that important? Anytime you modulate the endocannabinoid system, now you're helping to kind of regulate the immune system. And when you regulate the immune system, that means the body can work better. So from a COVID naive standpoint, and that means someone that has never had anything done to them except for getting COVID, their body ramps up antibodies to all aspects of the COVID virus. If you think about a virus, it's kind of a combination of things. So the COVID virus is classically a big ball that has these little spikes coming off of it. And those little spikes are what are called or what look like underneath a microscope like a crown. So hence corona. Corona means crown. So the body, when it sees the coronavirus, it develops an antibody against that spike, against the capsule, which is kind of the shell, and then anything that might be inside of it, it develops an antibody against that. So afterwards, if the body doesn't completely clear all of the virus, that's what creates the long COVID. So anyone that doesn't have a fully functioning, intact, robust immune system, they could have issues down the road. So that's where CBDA comes in, because it helps to not only modulate and regulate and help the endocannabinoid system, which then helps the immune system, but it also helps directly with pain reduction. I know that was kind of long. You with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. Good deal.
That's good information though.
Good. So now we're going to go to the completely opposite side, and this is the wild side. And I was talking to an owner of a company last Thursday, just this week. That's Paul for you, Jovi. And he's assembling this team of experts to create a virtual health and wellness campus that anyone in the country, anyone in the world can access. And one of his interests is COVID. So we were talking about COVID, and he said, yeah, it's kind of sad. One of his friends contracted COVID and he's having a rough go of it. And he said, he's even vaccinated. I said, oh my goodness. And he said, why? So there's a term in virology or vaccineology, and ology just means the study of whatever. So the study of vaccines, the study of viruses, there's a phenomenon called original antigenic sin. And it sounds like a really bad thing. But what it means is that the body, for some reason, gets kind of locked in. So when you have the vaccine, the way it's engineered is to tell the body to create this spike protein antibody. So that this way, whenever the body sees a virus, if it kind of looks like it has a spike, that's what it creates, is the antibody against that. So that could be a really good thing for the original virus, but viruses by nature mutate. So it may kind of have a red spike, and then the next variation may have a red spike but a green body. The next variation may be a yellow spike with a blue body. So in other words, it keeps on changing, but with this original antigenic sin, the immune system gets locked in. So now the body sees this new virus that comes in that's kind of looks like the original one, but it's a little bit different. But the only thing the body can do is create the antibody for this red spike. So even though the body is being invaded by a virus that has a blue spike and a green body, the only thing the body with the vaccine can generate is the red spike antibody, which is essentially no immune response at all. So that's why we're seeing in the literature more and more people succumbing to these variations because their body can't create a response. So another way of kind of looking at it is, let's say that you've got this great offensive weapon, and the weapon is a silver bullet. And now you have an enemy that comes at you, but the enemy has got this great cloaking device. So you can shoot all the silver bullets you want that would have got the enemy in the beginning because the enemy was silver. But now that the enemy is cloaked, or maybe the enemy looks kind of masked out and is in the shadow, the bullet doesn't work because the bullet can't see the enemy. Same thing with the body. And what makes it even worse is that with every booster, the body gets more locked in and more narrowly focused. There was a horrific study that just came out 3 weeks ago now from, I forgot the name of the organization, but it's essentially like the CDC for Canada. And they looked at one region in Canada, and they found out that out of everyone that was hospitalized and died, 5 people were unvaccinated, 60 people had 2 injections, and 163 people had 3 injections. So again, the body kind of gets locked in, and it's not the best thing. And even mainstream medicine is starting to come out and say, maybe we shouldn't be boosting people or updating people or giving additional vaccines because it may not be what it's worth. And then finally, and this literally just came out today, the head of, again, I forgot what the official agency name was, but it's kind of like the head of the CDC for the country of India said to Pfizer, hey, show us the proof that your vaccine is safe. And then we'll go ahead and say yes to the boosters. And Pfizer said, yeah, that's okay. We're not going to do that. So there's more and more proof of this antigenic sin. Why is that important? Because again, you need to do everything you can in order to help the immune system to kind of recover and heal itself. So the way you do that is with CBDA and then with glutathione. And then anything that you can do to help out with just giving the body a baseline through supplements, through superfruits, all those things. So it kind of comes full circle in what we've been talking about for what, a year and a half now, is the basic foundation. And this is what I do every day. I use my glutathione booster Soluvi. I use my CBDA, which is the Super Gold 1500, and then it's the Ultimate Vitamin and the Super 7. That's kind of like the baseline. And we should be kind of shouting from the rooftops, hey, stop the madness and help repair and help your body recover from this literally global tragedy that's kind of unfolding before our eyes.
Absolutely.
So now I talked way too long.
That was good. No, that's good information though, Dr. Phil, because a lot of people don't know that.
Mhm.
And they're assuming that the people that are not vaccinated are the ones that are spreading COVID.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that you elaborated on that very
Mhm.
thoroughly, and it's good. It's good.
And to blow the mask mandate out of the water, there was a study that came out of Italy today that showed that the only masks that work are the N95s, and they're the ones that are tight fitted to your face, that when you breathe in and breathe out, it kind of sucks in. And those masks actually raise the CO2 level in the body. And for people that are sensitive to CO2, which means asthmatics, people with COPD, emphysema, young kids, it's actually contraindicated. It can make them worse. So there's more and more information coming out to show that masks don't work or could be detrimental. And then there was a scary study, I shouldn't say a study, it was a report that came out of the UK a week ago, and they found these particles that were up to a millimeter. And a millimeter doesn't sound big, that's like maybe half of a pinhead, but these were millimeter particles of plastic that were found in the lung from people that were wearing the standard surgical masks.
Wow.
So now we're going to have, and plastic, if you can imagine, is not really a good thing to inhale. You go back literally a century originally to something called silicosis or black lung. And that's how OSHA was founded because all these miners were dying of lung disease and lung cancer from inhaling silica. So silica is kind of like a glass particle, which is super irritating. But you would kind of extrapolate that maybe plastic is not as irritating, but it can't be good for the lung lining because it is inert, which means it's not going to break down. It's just going to sit there. I mean, think about all the environmentalists that are up in arms about all the plastic that's in the oceans because it doesn't degrade or break down. So imagine all the plastic that could potentially be in your lungs. So there's so much that's coming out that's not being covered. That's why we really should be shouting from the rooftops and the mountaintops that, hey, protect your body and help your body heal and recover.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I either frightened everyone.
No, I have them all muted almost.
Okay.
A little bit. So if anyone has questions, unmute yourself because I know I muted you guys. Ever, how are you doing? Do you
I'm
have any
good.
questions with Dr. Phillip?
No, I just find it so interesting. I just been thinking about everything he just said, which I kind of like had my reservations about all those things already before. Well, now it's just confirmed, you know, what I was thinking and feeling about the mask, the vaccines, you know, and everything else. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
it's very interesting.
When patients ask me, should I get vaccinated or should I get boosted? I tell them flat out no, even though
Yeah.
my official company policy is vaccinate until the cows come home.
Yeah, like one of my all my kids are vaccinated except for one. One is like doing it. I'm like, I didn't want to do it, but like I was gonna go out of the country. I felt like, how about if this, you know, afterwards they're gonna say, you know what, you're required, and I didn't want to be stuck in international, you know, places. So I'm like, oh. So I did it, but yeah, no, I hate it. I regretted it totally because all it did was make me very, very sick. It's like having COVID all over again. And it was the worst. So my son, he hasn't got sick. He gets little minor colds, but he's never came out positive for COVID. And he's gotten sick various times. And every time he goes to get tested, it's always a negative. Always a negative.
Good deal. So for you've got to kind of get into that recovery mode and help
Yeah,
your
'cause
body kind of
I
fight
had it
this.
twice.
Yeah.
I had it twice, and the 2 times I had it, it was like, oh my God, it was just like they gave me and every time I went for the vaccine, for the 2 vaccines I took, every time it's like having COVID all over again. I had the same symptoms. So, and then I do suffer. I do like, my memory ain't as good as it was. Like I could be talking to you, and then I'm like, wait, what did I just tell you? You know, and I hate it. I hate it because my mind was not like that before. And it's not only me, it's also one of my daughters that's going through that also, which is terrible.
Yeah. So Jovi can help you out with the whole protocol to try to help you recover and kind of get over this.
Yeah, because it's scary. It's scary not remembering what you were talking about a minute ago or a second ago.
Right.
It's like short memory loss. I'm like, what the heck? And then like I would say words and they will come out like blah, 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 like not even correctly, like if I don't know how to talk. And I'll be like, oh my God. Yeah. But thank you, Dr. Phillip, for all the information you shared with us today. It was very well needed.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
We appreciate the things you tell us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Doesn't make me feel like I'm going crazy. And it was just me.
No, you're not. You're not.
Yeah, thank you.
You're not. So hopefully you don't get canceled for posting this.
You know what? Free speech. Ain't that what they say?
Yeah.
So let's see. Hey, free speech. Yeah, and it's our constitutional right to opinionate, I guess, you know. Supposedly the government says that, right? Let's see what
Amen,
happens.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything, but that's my thoughts.
Yeah, mine too.
So for some reason, it looks like we're looking through goggles with Alice.
I know.
I know, right? And that's scary. That is very scary, looking through goggles. I don't want to look through goggles. I want to look into reality.
I'm in a store, that's why. That's funny. Stop it. Stop acting up, man. All right. No, and it was good information, especially about how you broke it down. I really liked it a whole lot. So definitely.
Thank you.
Anyone else has any questions for Dr. Phillip? You, Tony, how are you doing? I know you haven't sent me your paperwork.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry I haven't been out a few weeks, and I just joined late today, so I missed most of all the activities today, so I apologize for that. I was out of town for the last couple of weeks. I was in Ohio. I came back home, turned around, and went to Mexico for 9 days shortly after that for work. So I come back home this week, and there's a little bit of a COVID outbreak running through the family. So my mom got COVID, Jovi.
Did she?
Yes. Well, actually, she just tested today. She wasn't feeling so hot as of Monday, and she felt good enough to go out today. She got it tested; it was positive. Although she's on the upswing, right? She's on the backside of it, coming out of it, right? My one son had probably the worst symptoms of all, and he tested negative. And then Yesenia, my daughter, tested positive, and she's got some milder symptoms. So Noah just tested, and he's positive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's I'm glad I got out of Mexico with no issues, you know. So you need a negative test to get out of there. So as soon as I landed, it's like, what'd you bring with you? I go, it wasn't me. I wasn't even here. You know, they started getting sick immediately after, so it wasn't me for sure. But yeah, it's been a little crazy. You know, this week coming back to all that because my mom and dad were pretty sick. So I was, you know, taking care of them, you know, bringing food and what. Mom just got her test results. Well, went to get a test today and came back positive.
Oh, wow. How about Lisa? How's she doing?
But she's feeling much better. She's okay. She's looking at me like, well, I'll probably get it sooner than later. I said, well, we probably all will, right? I mean, I think it'll run through. But you know, coming back from Mexico, I was a little bit, I got a little bit sick. But I think it was because of the air conditioning over there. It was like 102 degrees the day I left. Well, when I left Chicago, it was 46. I landed in Mexico, it was like 99. So that hot air hits you, you know, and you can't breathe. And every day when I'd come back home from work in the hotel, they would shut my air conditioner off, you know? So then the room is super hot, and, you know, you got to crank it all the way just to get, so by the time you're in mid-sleep, middle of the night, it's like, oh, it's getting cold in here, you know? And I think that gave me a little bit of a runny nose, and the pollution there didn't quite help me much either. But I'm fine. I mean, I was okay. I didn't have anything like that going on. But as soon as I got home, it seemed like everybody started getting sick. So, and the funny thing is, you know, it's 3 different schools. My mom works at a separate school in a whole other city. So it's like, I don't know where everybody got it from, but it seemed like to be from different areas, right? Because nobody's really been around each other. But aside from that, I have to kind of, you know, get back on track here with all the traveling. It was very undisciplined for me. So I'm not going to lie. I got to get back on track. I wouldn't want to have any blood results this week. That's for sure. So I got to get back on track. You know, I started back up again this week, but you know, it's been very undisciplined for me. So just got to get back on track. And I have been. So, you know, getting back into the swing of things here with everything going on, but nothing different. And then, you know, for whatever it's worth, you know, of the people that had COVID, half of them are vaccinated, half of them are not. So, but it seems like the ones that are vaccinated have the worst symptoms, quite honestly. And the ones that were unvaxxed had the milder symptoms. But no, as far as like everything else, Jovi, I really got to line myself back up the way I was doing everything, because the routine changed so much. Now I got to fall back at a good routine here.
Okay.
but I do have the results. I will send them to you today as soon as I get home. So you can see what it was from the first time around, right? But again, these last couple of weeks, well, with the exception of this week being home after working Tripling the last couple of weeks on the road. So I just gotta dial it back in and stay true to what we were doing before. So again, I've been watching what I've eaten and everything. It's just been a little bit harder to control when you're on the road, and it's your work schedule's all over the place, and you're eating dinner at 10:30. That's no good either. So well, our trade show would end at 8. You get back to the hotel about 9, and you haven't eaten dinner yet. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, by the time you start eating dinner, it's 10:30. I'm like, I'm gonna die if I keep this up too much longer.
And then
So,
the taquitos,
what's that?
especially the taquitos out there.
Yeah, well, right. And then everybody wants to eat these heavy meals, and I'm like, no, I don't need all of that, right? Especially not at this hour. But like I said, it's been a lot of undoing everything. Repairing everything I undid those last couple of weeks while I was away. So it's better this week, much better. But just dealing with the COVID outbreak in the house, the family. But it's much better now. I mean, as far as me being back on track and getting on schedule. And I think even Lisa was kind of seeing. She's like, yeah, you just jumped right back in. And I said, yeah, because I wasn't very good the last couple of weeks. So I got to get back on track here. And so I think it's influenced her a little bit, because she the other day said, you know what, I shouldn't have that when I turned something down. So, so that's good. Where normally she wouldn't turn it down. Right. So, at least it's nothing else. It's been about positive influence on her. And then she did tell me that I think you reached out to her while I was gone. So
Yeah, I gave her a call, but she didn't answer. I was just
Oh.
hoping, I was just following up with her to see how she was doing.
yeah, I told her we would catch up. I don't know what your schedule looks like. But I told her, I said, we should catch up with you and just have her talk to you a little bit more. She's like, she says, I see everything you're doing and it's working for you. She says, I want to understand it a little bit better. I mean, I got it all, but our situation is a little bit different than mine, obviously. So I said, yeah, we'll get together with Jovi, and I told her to get on the calls. But with Noah sick, I know she was a little nervous about it today, with Noah, and because he just tested positive. I said, yeah, but again, he's on the upswing too, right? I think the worst of his illness is behind him, and it really wasn't that bad at all. So,
Dr. Phillip, so like for the kids, they can take the CBDA too, right? For the immune system?
Yeah, they can. The only thing that may be an issue is the CBDA.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just the vitamins and the CBDA would be good for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
Tony,
again,
the CBDA,
I'm sorry.
since
Go ahead, Joe.
I think since you got the CBDA, you can share that with them.
Okay.
Even
then
with your
I will
mom.
try that. Yeah.
Even with your mom, like your mom can take the CBDA. If I know that your dad has a CBD oil, so
Yeah.
with the CBD oil, they can take that, and then the vitamins.
Okay. Yeah. I told my dad, I was talking to him today because my dad, who looked like he was getting better, he looked a little worse for wear than my mom this morning. My mom looked a lot better. And I looked at my dad finally. I said, I see your color coming back in your face a little bit. But I did tell him to stay with the CBD oil. I did say, hey, Dad, keep taking the oil, whatever you do. I know you don't feel great and you don't feel like doing anything, but try and keep taking that. I said it wouldn't, I'm sure it won't hurt you. So, when I get home, I'm going to go check on them now and see how they're doing. But it did sound like at least they went out, right? My mom went out to get a test. So they hadn't left the house in a few days. So I'm going to go check on them now and see how they're doing. But I mean, the good thing was they were getting their appetite back and everything, where they didn't have an appetite at all earlier this week. So I will do that. I'll share that with my mom and see if she want to try the and see how that works for her. It helps swing right. I think the worst is behind them. At the bottom end of the stroke, probably on their way out tomorrow. But I think their worst may be behind them yet. Also, but we'll see where they are. Though they may bounce back a little quicker too.
Okay.
So Jovi, I was trying to send you something via chat, but I guess it's too big of a file. So I'll email it to you,
Okay.
and then you can send it out to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I called your mom this weekend just to check up on her and your dad, and they sounded, well, I only spoke to her. She sounded good.
Yeah, they started on Monday, I think, is when they started to really not feel well. Because she had a doctor's appointment on Monday, and for something completely unrelated, right? And then she didn't make that when she called me, and she sounded really, hoarse. And I'm like, Mom, what happened? I just talked to you yesterday. You were fine. And so Monday's when the bottom dropped out for her, and but again, like this morning when I was over there, she was she had all the color back in her face because she was very pale, and she looked a lot better. She says, I feel better. I'm going to go get a test because she needed it for work or something. And then, she got the bad news that it was still positive. She's like, but I'm starting to feel better. I said, that's okay, Mom. I mean, yeah, it may be positive, but you're on the backside of it, right? You're climbing out of it. The worst is behind you. So just keep doing what you're doing. But I will suggest a CellUV for her. That I didn't know that may help her, but
Yeah, absolutely.
okay, I'll encourage her to do that as well then. Okay, that's good. I didn't know that. I should have. I should have checked with you, Jovi, earlier. But knowing that, I'll definitely encourage her to kind of include that in everything she's doing now.
Okay.
And then I'll share with the kids too, so that helps them recover too. And well, maybe that's why I haven't gotten anything.
Yeah, because your immune system's up to par. That's why.
Yeah,
So you've been.
I hope so. I hope so, right? I mean, you'd like to think that all the work you've put in is definitely playing a factor in it, right? I would like to think so. Maybe that's why I can.
You cut up, Tony. You cut up a little bit, Tony.
So I just emailed that to you, Jovi.
Okay.
Sorry, driving here. Maybe I can, withstand it a little bit better than they can, because up till now, thankfully, I've had. All right, I lost the signal. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard me swearing, but sorry about that. I just completely lost the signal. Jovi, you froze, and I didn't hear anything that was said after I stopped talking. So I don't know how much of it you heard, but I missed everything that was said after that.
No, we couldn't hear you. We're waiting for you.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if you heard me swearing. That's why you were laughing, but I was like, oh, I lost the signal. Okay, good.
No.
So, like I said, everybody seems to be okay. All things considered, I will definitely, try and implement the CellUV with everyone as well. And I haven't had any issues thus far, right? So, and then my test was negative. That I took one just in case. So far so good on my end, and everybody else seems to be more on the recovery side than just the beginning phase. So, hopefully the worst is behind everybody, and we'll move on from here.
Oh, yeah.
And then I owe you some paperwork. I will send that over today as soon as I get back. I'll give you a call later tonight. I don't know when your schedule is if you have an opportunity.
Yeah, call me later tonight.
to talk a little bit more.
I'm out here in San Diego
Okay.
right now with Maida.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a great view there. It doesn't look like Oak Park at all, but
Not at all.
it looks like a much nicer view than Chicago. Although we do have a really nice day today, but today's the end of the warm weather. So
Yeah, so just give me a call when you have a chance.
yeah, I will. If you're not too busy, I'll text you first and then call you.
Okay.
All right. But other than that, like I said, I just gotta get back on track again. Well, which I have been this week. I stayed disciplined. More importantly, just staying disciplined and continuing on. I've managed to keep. Everybody that I haven't been to Mexico with my coworkers in a while, and even they were like, "Wow, you lost a lot of weight." So that's good news, right? So it's still there, right? I haven't completely undone or fallen off the wagon here. Trying to stay on the rails as much as possible. But no, again, thank everybody for the encouragement, the knowledge, and everything, and the time spent. Again, I appreciate it, and I intend to make the most of it and continue to improve, because that's all I've found to be happening since I've joined the group here. So I'm very, very grateful for all of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. No, I'm glad you're staying on track, Tony, because it's good. I think everyone here in the group has been staying on track, even the ones that haven't jumped on. So far, I know that they've implemented everything that Dr. Phillip has recommended. So that's always great. We do have great news though. Dr. Phillip's going to be coming to Chicago. It's going to be June 29th, July 1st and the 2nd.
Yeah, somewhere. I'm going to be out there. The question is when we're going to do something, and then if it's going to be just like an evening event or an all-day event. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So am I. I know I'm looking into different hotel rooms, so at least I can follow up with Dr. Phillip. So if anyone has any recommendations, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I know Alice, you were helping me out as well. So Alice is going to be helping out with the flyers, Dr. Phillip.
Oh.
And Karen, she's going to help me out with a couple of things as well, as she'll be out here or out in Chicago as well.
Yeah, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Jim, how are you doing? Did you speak to the surgeon? You're breaking up, Jim. No, there.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Hello? Oh, I have an enormous amount of sick time that's gonna go unused. So I try to take days off when I can, and so I'm using my hand as a little wing. I'm going to see a surgeon, and so I leave that message on my when they try to find me as surgeons. But I wasn't anywhere near a surgeon today.
Okay.
So that's good. Dr. Phillip left us like, and Joey made me talk for about an hour. So I said, I'm going to speak today.
I made you speak for an hour, you said?
Yeah, last week. Dr. Phil,
oh, yeah, that's right.
It stayed on the phone for, I bet you it was close to an hour. Stayed on the phone, right?
A little bit.
So I said all my words last week, so I don't want to bore everybody again this week.
Also, I don't know if you heard, Dr. Phillip's gonna be on, he'll be in Chicago the June 29th, July 2nd, and
Oh, yeah.
I mean, first and the second,
Okay,
okay?
that's awesome.
And I'll keep you guys posted, so I know that Alice is gonna help me with some flyers, and we'll look for a hotel around the downtown area for him. So at least he can speak to all of you as well.
Oh, by the way, you look awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You will let her know. She looks marvelous.
Oh, thank you,
Yes.
Ever.
Yes. Not that you never do, but you look even more marvelous. You have like a glow.
I have a glow. I'm
Yeah,
in
you have a
San
glow.
Diego, that's why.
Oh my lordy, I'm so hating now. That's the reason that you're glowing. I would be glowing too. Good, enjoy.
Thank you, thank you.
Are we still all on?
Yeah, we're still on. I know you had some questions, Ever, in reference to the shape and burn.
Oh
For
yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Phillip.
I wanted to know how that works, the shape and burn. Yes, I did. But I didn't know whether you guys were talking about the topic about it today, because I know it was mostly all COVID, so that's why I didn't say nothing.
So there's a couple ways that it works. One is that it helps the brain to kind of rethink about food and hunger and satiety. So that's what some people, there's a new term called neurohacking or brain hacking. So it's a way to kind of get your brain to think a little bit differently. That's one thing. The other is all the components that help out with metabolism and boosting metabolism, so that this way you can accelerate burning fat. And then the other aspect of metabolism is helping your body process sugar or glucose better. So there's kind of three things that happen. One is to help the brain make you feel like you're full and not hungry. It helps the brain to kind of what's called neuromodulate, or kind of the neurons and the hormones in the brain work better. So people are more focused, they have more energy, they think better, they think clearer. So that's the kind of like the brain aspect. And then the metabolism aspect is twofold. Fat metabolism, it helps to break down fat, so it helps to encourage fat reduction. And then it helps the body to utilize sugar better, so therefore it helps out with glucose metabolism. So it's either the brain aspect or the metabolic aspect.
Well, I'm actually looking for both, so I'm gonna order it and I'm gonna try it and see how that works. How many do you recommend I should start? Is it only one tablet a day?
So everyone is different.
Correct.
Most people start off with one a day and one in the morning, because it can have a long lasting effect. So if you don't find that it's giving you the sustainability, then you may want to take a second one around noon, 1 o'clock. I wouldn't say any later than 2 or 3 o'clock. So this way it doesn't.
So it doesn't keep me up at night, correct?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Yes, I'm gonna order it and I'm gonna try it. And if I have any questions, I sure will be bothering you. You could take that serious.
Yeah. Please. I love to be bothered.
Because I do need something to boost my metabolism, because I know it's really, really terrible right now.
Mhm.
And I've been feeling tired. and I don't like it. So I was talking to Jovi that I wanted to order it. And I said, I just was wondering, like, you know, what were the benefits about it? So I just waited until now that I talked to you and you explained a little bit more. Well, then I think it won't be bad if I just start with the 2, right? Or do you recommend me just doing the 1?
I would start with just 1 and see
Okay,
how
for
your
how many
body
weeks
responds.
you think?
Oh, just a couple of days.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
and then
you'll,
from there, boost it up to 2, huh?
yeah, you'll know pretty quickly.
Okay, okay, sounds good. And when you're doing that, is it okay to still keep eating a diet like what's it called? Like the diet that Jovi we were doing?
So now you're getting into my weight reduction talk. So the whole idea is everything is pinned on a healthy lifestyle, eating well. So that's what Jovi talks about. What this helps out with is kind of giving you a jump start or a kickstart or get you over the hump, whatever you want to call it. It helps out with that aspect.
Yeah, because I was
Kind of,
wondering if I should, when I'm doing the pills, should I do the keto diet still?
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, because
Okay.
that'll just help to accelerate everything.
Oh, even better. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get married in a year, Dr. Phillip. So yeah.
I don't understand the trying part. I mean, do you have someone you want to marry, or you're still
Oh
looking?
yeah, I
or-
already have him. I already have him. I'm just making him wait. I made him wait 4 years. I'm still making him wait.
Okay. Okay.
He's getting tired of the waiting.
Okay.
Yep, he's tired of the waiting. So I'm trying to rush the process so we could do it perhaps by next year.
Okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
my goal is for next year.
Okay. Fair enough.
I want to lose 100 only right now. That's my goal, 100 in a year.
So that would be approximately 2 pounds a week. So that might be a little bit aggressive, but I think you can do it.
I think so too, because I've lost one time. I dedicated myself to it like hardcore, and I lost 60 pounds in 4 to 6 months.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I just
You
have
can definitely
to stay strong, Dr. Phillip. That's all I have to do, I guess. But
Yeah.
I was just, but I want to be safe about it. So that's why I was asking her about the pills, if they were safe for me to try them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, so you talk to Jovi, and you may want to be even more aggressive and put a meal replacement in there somewhere. So yeah, talk to Jovi and she'll help you kind of navigate everything.
Okay, Dr. Phillips, thank you so much for
Yeah.
your help and your knowledge. We really appreciate it. Well, I appreciate it, and I'm not sure everybody else does too.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And we gotta stand what we believe in.
Amen. Amen.
Hopefully, they won't delete this video like you said earlier. But hey, we have rights.
Mhm.
We're all human.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen.
Exactly.
Amen.
I
don't
know
if
Dr.
anybody
Phillip
else-
has to leave, right, Dr. Phillip?
Yeah, unfortunately, I've got to sign off. So next Friday, you're going to be back in Chicago, is that right?
Yeah, I'll be back on Thursday, so
Okay.
we can have the call on Friday.
Okay, good deal.
Okay.
So same time, you'll just be in a different location.
Yes. Same
Okay.
time, same time.
Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Okay, everyone. Enjoy the weekend. Bless you for listening, and we'll talk next week.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Okay,
Bye, Dr.
bye-bye.
Phil.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I stayed on the whole time, Dr. Phil.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. You guys have a good one, okay?
Okay. Talk to you later, Jovi.
All right, talk to you later.
Get some sun, because you still look pale. You still like a white
Look.
girl.
No, look, I got tan. Can you see?
A little bit, yeah.
I got a little color.
Just a little.
I'll go out tomorrow again, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And make sure you take some pictures by the beach.
Oh, I have. I just haven't posted them.
Okay.
I've been to 2 different beaches. Tomorrow I'm gonna go to a 3rd one.
Don't be talking about you moving now.
I think I want to. It's gorgeous out here.
It is. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, call
I'm
me
in
later.
love. Okay, talk to you later. You guys have a
Right.
good one.
Have
Bye.
fun.
Thank you. Bye.